Hey, this is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions. The title of this segment, Alibaba and the 40 Names. I know it's a little weird, but one of the things that happens to you when you buy storage units is you'll often get a unit of a criminal. Scratch that. Someone that you may think is a criminal. Bought this unit, great unit, nice unit. It was wonderful. And all was cool until I got to the back. This unit was sweet. It was a 10 by 25, and it was one of those days where I was by myself. By myself means no clampets, no Ric Flair, nobody with any cash. And there was 4 other people there. Door goes up, and internally I went, ooh. I'm serious. It was a killer unit. So I just threw out $250 because I thought, even with me not knowing these people, it's going to get $800-900. And they were like, whew, too rich for my blood. That's a lot of shit in there. That's what this little old woman said. Kind of put me in the mind of Betty White. Because when someone like Betty White says something like that, it's funny because you don't expect that coming from that type of person. And he's like, going once, going twice. And I was like, hot damn. All right, pull down the door, get the unit, go pay for it. I can't wait to go back to it. Go back to the unit, and I'm just looking at it, and it's like just climbing in there, and it's just getting better and better and better. So I lower the door, and I'm like, I'm coming back to get this today. Go to the warehouse, get the truck, head over to Peachtree Industrial and pick up some of my Latino brothers, and we in the truck riding. Get there, we start unloading stuff, and the stuff's coming out. It's lovely. There's this beautiful, modern, roll top, flat black desk with chrome tip legs. It's hot. I'm like, ooh, I want to take that to my house, but I had enough stuff in my house. And things that you really like, put a high price on it. I was like $1,500. I didn't even look it up because if it didn't sell for $1,500, at some point it was going back to my place. And other stuff came out, and it was like really, really cool because all at the front was the furniture. Just tons of furniture. There was the roll top desk. It was 2 platform bedroom sets. It was a really nice lucite coffee table that did weird shit because it would spin around and another piece would come out. When I looked that thing up at Cantoni, I almost had a heart attack. Retail on that sucker was $4,500. Yes, for a coffee table. I didn't sell it for that. I got $1,500, and it took a while. But this was the type of stuff that was in there, and it just kept getting gooderer and gooderer and gooderer. And the second day, because 24-foot truck was full, and it was still a good 10 feet worth of stuff, because this was one of those storage facilities that the stuff was stacked from the ruler to the tuller, from the floor to the ceiling. And the ceiling wasn't that chicken wire that you see in a lot of places. It went up to the concrete beams of the storage facility, because this was a downtown facility. And that must have been 10 by 25 and at least 10 feet high, and it was stacked up to there. I mean, 2 big truckloads. Once I got to the personals, that's when it became a little creepy, because I started finding credit cards and multiple driver licenses, with the same picture on each driver's license. Multiple work IDs, several social security cards, and in the grand total, it was 40. Then I found this chick stuff, and it was like, okay, she wasn't as big an identity thief as this guy was. She only had 10 different pieces of ID. And then they go, why didn't you call the police? This is why I didn't call the police. Chances are, but I don't know, all of that stuff was illegally gotten. But I bought it legally. So, do I stand a chance of losing several $1,000s to be a good guy? And it kind of went in this ear and out that ear, just like that. Maybe 2 seconds for it to travel from earlobe to earlobe, because I'm like, I'm not doing it. This is like a killer unit. Killer, 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 killer. Maybe more killer in more ways than I know. But at the end of the day, I was at around 12 grand on the unit, because not only did he have the nice furniture and the name brand modern furniture, but there was beautiful contemporary stuff. There was great artwork, and he had these really, really funky posters. Here's a tip for you. Authentic movie posters move like hotcakes at a pancake festival on eBay. I had no clue. I mean, these were original deal. And the posters accounted for half the take of the unit. Half. That's how hot these posters were. And it was just like a lovely unit. Like I said, and I saw this, and there was like credit cards, and there was 6 different passports. I don't even know what country this food was from. And I was just like, God, what happened to Alibaba? What happened to this dude? And that's the thing you have to ask yourself. If you buy a unit, what you going to do? Remember my rules. Number 1, keep your mouth closed. Number 2, keep your mouth closed. Number 3, sell that stuff, sell that stuff, sell that stuff. Because, I did a video the other day about morality, and, someone's talking about karma. But this is the thing. If you take a unit like that, and I'll be totally unvarnished. I know they would have seized everything. They was like, oh, we want to get in. And they've been like, thank you, sir. We really appreciate that. You're a good citizen. And as I was bending over, I was like, why? Why does my ass hurt? Because I would have got fucked on that deal. There is something really wrong in this country when you do the right thing and you end up on the wrong side of good. Because this is a old wives' tale. I wasn't there. I heard about it. The guy in Arizona found a unit, $400,000, and he turned the money in. Good people of YouTube, if you find a storage unit with $400,000, please call me if you turn it in so I can slap the crap out of you. This is the deal. You did not get that money illegally. Possession is 9/10 of the law. And there are going to be some people who go, well, no, you go to jail. I'm like, I did this stuff for 8 years. There are things I found in units I will never speak about on YouTube. You'll never see on the blog, and it'll never be in the book. And I'm not in jail. What does that mean? If you don't tell anybody and no one finds out, how the hell are you going to go to jail? That's all I'm saying. How? And this is what I learned from human nature. When you have hot shit that people want to buy, they buy it, they're happy. That's the end of it. I mean, for a good, and it stopped about 11 months ago, because I had people still calling me and say, hey, did you get this? Did you get this? And I'm like, I don't have it. I'm no longer in the business. And they were like, wah, wah, wah. Come on, dude, get back in the business. I had people who were hurt because they were getting such good deals. And that's the power of being in this business. But just know that if you buy enough units, chances are you're going to come across an Alibaba. Chances are you're going to have to make some value judgments inside that hot room, and it's 110 degrees outside and sweat's rolling between your butt cheeks, and at that moment you're going to find out who you really are. Am I going to turn this stuff in, or I'm going to sell this shit? And that's the deal. There was a lady, it was at Grand Central Storage, it's now I think an Extra Space property, bought a unit, little $50 unit. I was there. Unit looked like hell, didn't even bid on it. Get home, and it's like people were calling me, hey, that lady at the auction, the unit, there was all these identification cards, and I just shook my head and I was like, I don't even want to hear it. Anybody that has been in the game for at least 3 to 4 years has gotten a unit like that. Okay, chances are, are they going to catch the person? No. Why? Because identity theft is a low priority. And when I say low priority, that doesn't mean if the person walks in, they're not going to arrest them, but not a whole lot of police work is going to go into trying to track this person down. It's just not. Police forces are short on personnel, and they're trying to go after the murderer, the rapist, or, low-hanging fruit, you driving too fast. But, just letting you know, do not put yourself in harm's way. And I have people who've emailed me, and I say, look, it's your unit, that's your stuff. It's your judgment. I can't make that decision for you. I can't. That's on you and your family. And every time they're like, you know what? I want to keep this stuff or I'm going to sell it. That was always the deal. So let me just say I'm proud of my folks, because you're calling around in those hot-ass units. So you're dealing with Roscoe the Roach, Rodney the Rat, and, I've never dealt with any bed bugs, never even seen one, and all really pissy, stained up mattresses went straight to the dump. So I never really dealt with that, and nothing's ever come into my home. But I hear it's a brave new world out there. And I say, yeah, but I think it's the same old shit, just a different day. You're buying stuff that people lost. Storage tip of the day. This is tax season, which means tons of units that normally would come on the market are gone. Why? People have their tax money. They're coming in and like, I'm paying this shit and you ain't getting my stuff. And they're laughing. But many of those people will not move the stuff. So it'll be back on the market at some point. I've seen it happen so many times. So if you're thinking about getting into business and you're not quite set, don't worry. Because as long as people continue to buy shit they don't need, do stupid things, and mismanage their money, there'll always be storage auctions. This is Glendon with Making Money with Storage Unit Auctions.